that must be commended. But beyond that, when the appointments are confirmed and in Parliament, it just comes down to the interministerial coordination and collaboration. Because often you sometimes have, as I have experienced, one ministry doing its own thing that is not connected to like a broader agenda of the government or the regime. So overall, yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward, and we look to see how collectively these 23 ministries would deliver the mandate of the government. And look, the president should not be scared or afraid to fire ministers that don't deliver, right? The mandate that will be given them should be clear. They should have their KPIs, whether they sign the contract or not, but whatever it is, they need to be held highly to the ability to deliver on their mandate. And I'm expecting that if some are not delivering, if some are caught up in scandals, they should be fired. The NDC does not have the luxury of, playing around. 4 years will come very, very soon. And given the issues that need to be addressed, you need really serious hands at the deck. And if they are not delivering on that mandate, Mr. President, please fire them, carry out a reshuffle. And that's one of the things that we never saw in a very serious manner under the past administration.
Very well. Vincent, what stood out for you? 2 quick ones, then we make progress.
Well, I would have wished that Ministry of Transport and Roads and Highways should have also been brought together, especially because if you look at the promise that they gave to the Ghanaian people that they are going to appoint 60 ministers. I don't know if some ministries are not going to have deputies, but
if they were to have deputies, then we'll have
46.
46, yes.
Without regional ministers.
46 plus 16.
Yes.
So 46 plus 16, that gives you 62.
Yes, without regional ministers.
Is it
But you see,
okay.
but you see, there are some ministries like
That's really tight, right?
like Ministry of Finance. But the NDC,
But of course, it doesn't-
Dramani Mahama should not be so much boxed into the fact that they promised Ghanaian people I have to give 60 ministers, and for that matter,
But
even if it is going to,
you come after them if it doesn't.
is it really about us?
No,
or is it about the country?
Yes, but
Because you see,
it's made a promise. He must stick
and
to it.
if my brother will be very honest with the conversation, 2 ministries, Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Finance, to have just one deputy minister.
The Ministry of Education,
It's not
basic
easy.
education, tertiary education. and all
Because
that.
you see, for example, Ministry of Education, if you want to have one deputy minister for Ministry for Education, that deputy minister is going to be in charge of TVET, is going to be in charge of general education. Is the expertise that the person even comes with. So I don't know how they are going to go about all these things, because if you also don't take care, you might be embarking on a path of failure already before you start. I am wishing them well, but I'm just saying that it's very tight. Because even with this, it means that some ministers may not have deputies. If you have a Ministry for Transport and Roads, and you are saying that there's no deputy, that is problematic. I was also looking forward to even a merger between youth development and gender ministry. So that you can have a minister and one deputy who is probably in charge of gender. So that in that circumstances, you just save 2 deputies for each of them. So it's a very difficult situation for John Dramani Mahama. But of course, that is how politics is. You promise on the basis that you want to come to power, and people will also give you the power, and it becomes very difficult for you to even, as it were, honor those promises in Parliament. When you speak to some of our colleagues over there, there's a problem, because most of them are looking forward to get appointments, and it look as if those appointments or what they wait for cannot be met, because they have about 188 or 183 MPs over there. And even if you are taking all the 60 from Parliament, which is not possible, even if you are taking all
Still,
the
there'll be
you have
about
about
120.
120. And all these people have worked for you. There's some amount of anticipation for them to be able to get
I'm
an
sure,
appointment.
I'm sure Mama, being the experienced hand, will find a way
It's
around
going
it.
to be very difficult. So I just wish them well. I hope that they will be able to stay within the 60. If they don't, we'll remind them.
Sure.
If they don't, we'll remind them.
We're all here. We'll do that. But so interesting. When you the deputy thing, I mean, that brings it to 62. That's even with one deputy each.
So first and foremost, sometimes we create an impression as if ministers and deputy ministers are actually the people who are the technocrats. No, they are not. If you even, let's take Ministry of Energy, if you have one deputy, usually we used to, under the NDC, the previous NDC, you had one for petroleum and one for power. But if you have one deputy and his job, and you have the sectors and properly, the sectors working properly, you may not necessarily need to have two deputies doing all these sort of things, because there will be people within the sectors who will do, whether it is ECG, whether it is, what do you call it, GMPC, what have you. So that is one aspect. Two, the area that for me I am excited about, and I think Theo had spoken about it, is the energy and then the green transition. Theo in particular, he is an authority. In fact, Theo, if he's listening,
Theo's a lecturer. I mean,
yeah. So the point I'm trying to make is that I had to,
guy.
in my very humble attempt to also finish my PhD, I cited one of his works on what they call navigating the energy transition and industrial decarbonization. You wrote it with Matthew, so I had to cite your work in my thing, and I realized that it is an area we shouldn't be left behind, so that at the end of the day we are saddled with what do you call it, the fact that we now need to catch up. And so this thinking, and I think that for the first time, both political parties we put some emphasis on what do you call it, the whole idea of the transition that we're in. So both political parties dealt with it. And if the transition is done and done properly, it can even be a source of job creation and other things. So yes, I'm excited about that area. The other area, look, my brother, that I'm very excited about is the agribusiness, the trade, agribusiness and industry. Look, we've been talking, for example, about the depreciation of our cedi. A greater part of it is just about the importation of some particular foodstuff. Can you imagine that if, as a country, we concentrate more on what do you call it, say rice production, and we can actually process it very well in this country, and we reduce the rice importation in this country, you can imagine what will happen. If we reduce the importation of sugar in this country, what can happen? Yeah, so that's the point I'm making. So you see, you add quality and other things to the type of produce that you match up to that. And so for me, it is one area I'm excited about, because it will open up jobs. Because if you have a job, what do you call it, an unemployment rate of about 14.7 thereabout %, and a greater part of it, you see them are also from the youth. You know that the interest, if you go back and look at it, you see the 14.7 looks so global. Out of that, apart from the fact that the majority of them are the youth, there are about 40% of the youth who are unemployed, who have given up in looking for jobs. They've just given up. They just think that I can never get a job. So they've just given up. So when you have situations like this where people can then venture into those areas, it becomes something that is good. But look, I can tell you, post the elections, His Excellency has indicated very clearly that he is not going to go beyond the 60. So he will stick to the 60. Two, in fact, our brothers promised 50, am I right? They did 50 and we did 60.
But I promised 50.
They did 50 and then with this and they'll bring it down. But basically, I think that let's start with the 60 and see. Because there are countries that have bigger economies than us, and they are doing less numbers.
Their institutions work.
Yeah, the institutions work. So what we should be more interested in is how do we build the institutions? Look, the last topic we just held and made, if really institutions were working, I would not be sitting down here blaming the energy minister, the finance minister for not making us aware that we were supposed to procure this. If, for example, the institutions were working and Greenco was bold enough to get up and say this. Or let's take headmasters. You know, for a long time, headmasters could not even talk. But you know, in the past few days, Charlie, you remember when you were at the Ministry of Education?
Not employees.
When the Ministry of Education, you people were there, you cow down everybody. But today, the headmasters can talk and talk about the fact that there's no food and everything. You think that just a month ago or 2 months ago, a headmaster will open his mouth and say that, who born dog? But you see, now they have the freedom to be able to do some of these things. Because if we allow the institutions to work, they will voice out and all the corrective measures will be made. Yeah.
Very well. This is the big issue, 97.3 City FM, Channel 1 television. Just been looking at the appointments, the new EI we've seen that has reduced the number of ministry from 30 to 23. And the fact that we've had some interesting arrangements. We now have Ministry for Youth and Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment. Now we have Sports and Recreation. We have Energy and Green Transitions. We have Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. And we have Labor, Jobs and Employment. We want to move on to the next thing, so it appears the president-elect has been quite busy. He also promised in his first 120-day social contract with the people that he will investigate some things. Now, he has caused a letter to be written to the IGP, George Dampari, doctor, to initiate investigations into the death of 8 Ghanaians during the 2020 and 2024 general elections. And then he has said quite something. He said to ensure the investigations are comprehensive and transparent, we respectfully propose 1, establishment of a dedicated investigative task force, collaboration with witnesses and families, review of electoral security arrangements, use of forensic evidence, etc., etc. This has been a matter that many have spoken about. Saw some disturbances in 2020. 8 persons died. Techiman South especially recorded a lot of these. But nothing really much was seen on that front. So the NDC promised in its campaign that it was going to see to this. Now, 3 days after the inauguration, on January 10, the president has begun work on this. Let me start from you, Vincent. Vincent, I mean, for about 4 years, we never saw any action on this, at least visibly. President has started some work on this. What are your thoughts?
Well, Salom, I think that this letter is a joke.
Why so?
This letter is a joke because it just seeks to play on the intelligence of the Ghanaian people. President Mahama and his team seeks to score points where they need not, or there are no points really to be taken. Because if you write a letter to the IGP asking for the IGP to investigate the death of 8 persons, and I will refer you to a decision by Shraj when Samuel Okudato Ablakwa and Emmanuel Amabua sent a petition to Shraj. And these were the reliefs that they were looking for. If you check page 2, it says that the complainants demand that the commission conduct investigations into NESTF's activities during the December 2020 elections at the Techiman South, Ododo, Ablekuma Central, and Savelugu constituencies in the Bono East, Greater Accra, and Northern regions. 2. The complainants also demand that the investigation identify officials of the Ghana Police Service and Ghana Armed Forces responsible for the unlawful acts, the subject matter of the present complaint, and the persons under whose command and instructions they acted. It goes on and goes on and goes on, and even talked about compensation. These were the things that Samuel Okudato Ablakwa and Emmanuel Amabua based on and petitioned the Shraj. Now I will take you to the final words of Shraj, when Shraj sought to deal with the matter. And I'm saying this green letter is a joke because this is a matter that is already being dealt with by the Ghana Police Service. Investigations are already done. Some of these matters are already before the court. And I'll tell you how Shraj actually put these matters. Shraj, in his last comment to it, in declining the petition that was sent to Shraj quoted Article 219. I think I have the Constitution here. Article 219 or 218 of the Constitution, when it said that matters that are already before the court cannot be investigated by Shraj. So that is 218 or 219. Yes, 2192. 2192 of the Constitution.
So let me read it. So
Right.
the commissioner shall not investigate a matter which is pending before the court or judicial tribunal.
Absolutely. So this is what Shraj said in his own decision when it responded to Okudzeto Ablakwa and co. Now, I want to also take you to the same...
What's the fact? Is the matter before the court?
Yes, the matters are... So I'll take you one by one to the Dudio one, the Techima and South issue and all that. They are all before the court. And Shraj was very...
Being prosecuted by the Attorney General.
Absolutely. In fact, that's what I'm saying, that the Ghana Police Service has already done its investigations. And Shraj took time to take some of these comments, or if you like, to take some of these facts from the Ghana Police Service, from the Attorney General's office, as to what is already happening. Because if you go to Wenchi High Court now, this matter, with respect to people who died or the person who died at Techiman South, that matter is already before
the Wenchi High Court. Who is being prosecuted?
So let me try and help you here, because Shraj took its time to go through all that. Unfortunately, my laptop is worrying me now. It says that the findings are here. 1. The commission finds that the respondents, as representatives of the state in the cases pending before the Wenchi High Court, are the same as those before the commission. Are the same as those before the commission.
The respondents?
The respondents, the Ghana Police Service. Hold on. The Ghana Police Service. I may have to take you back to.
So
these are all state institutions.
Yes.
That, as it were, the green letter seeks to support, or if you like, to assist in making sure that investigations are done. The point I'm trying to make is that these cases...
Because it's quite specific. I mean,
right.
People shot people.
Yes.
And you can't just kill somebody and keep quiet over it. You know?
I agree with you.
And in fact, some persons, high-ranking officials in your government, Joe Wise, for example, said these were criminals who were shot.
Yes.
And so we shouldn't make too much noise about it, more or less. You know, we need to have a conclusion to this.
Yes.
So who are the people being prosecuted? Are they military officers? Are they police officers? Are they ordinary people who had guns and were shot, and who shot the people? Who are they?
I'm saying
so that must be clear.
I'm saying that.
I'm not disputing the fact that,
I'm saying that
some matter may be before the court, but I need clarity on that.
These are matters that are already before the court. 1. The green letter seeks to trigger an investigation as to the persons who died and people who, as it were, played a role or played a contributory role for us to be able to get to that. And I'm already suggesting to you that Shraj had already ruled on this matter to suggest that all the things that the green letter seeks to achieve are already before the Ghana Police Service.
So who is before court?
Who is before court? That's it.
Yes, for trial.
For trial. Because if it's a criminal matter, it will be the Republic against some persons.
Yes.
So we said the respondents are before the court. The respondents are the police service.
When it comes to, it's unfortunate my laptop is disappointing me here. But when it comes to the Wenchi High Court matter, it was Republic versus one Na Hammond or Na Mammon or something. So it was the state that was prosecuting someone with respect to the death that happened in 30 months out.
The good thing is that this has been addressed to the IGP, CID attention.
Yes.
If indeed some work has been done, which led to the preparation of the docket for court, the IGP should just provide those details and say, "Oh, Mr. President, we've investigated it already."
That is why I'm saying that a simple check with the IGP would have reviewed that the investigation
that's
is
an
already
assumption
good.
that's an assumption that it has been done, because it would have been nice to have the list, because this matter has been.
I'll give it. I'm trying to find it.
This matter has been around for a long time.
Yes.
If indeed there was some investigation and the matter is being prosecuted.
Yes.
I mean, I think it would have come up because it's been a matter the NDC has
There
spoken
are
about many
matters-
times.
there are
And
matters
indeed,
that-
in their 120-day pledge, this was one of the matters they said they were going to do. So if indeed the matter was before court, I'm sure it would have come up. Not to dispute what Shraj is saying.
I am saying
and what
that
you're
these
saying.
are matters that are already before court. These are matters that have already been prosecuted by the Attorney General. The Attorney General himself put these matters before court. And when Shraj had the occasion to rule on the petition that was given to it by, what do you call it, Samuel Okujato and Amabua, it was clear when it stated that these are matters that are already before the court, and for that matter, per Article 219, are not matters that he, or if you like, Shraj will be able to deal with because they're already before the court.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
You see, does it hurt if this, just as Salom said, this has been around for God knows how long? We've been talking about it. In fact, when
So I take that I'm making a substantive point.
Yes, yeah.
So just you have 2 minutes.
Yes,
to
so
do
I found the
Yes.
Saviligu. So let me take it. Saviligu constituency, the matter that is before the court now. It is a Republic versus Na Mohammed Ahmed and Honorable Abdullah Jacob Idris. That is just around the same matters with respect to the
No, but
election.
people died in Savulugu. I
Hold
thought
on.
the deaths were so. It was this letter is in respect to the deaths,
Yes.
but I'm not sure people died in Savulugu.
Ablekuma Central.
Did anybody die in Ablekuma Central?
Listen, electoral violence.
It's a tragic. The investigation to the tragic deaths
Yes.
of citizens during the election.
But people died in Odododio, right? People died in Techiman South.
Techiman South.
Techiman South. Yes,
So-
all these matters. That's what I'm saying.
so give me for
That
Techiman.
particular. Okay, let me find the Techiman South for you. That matter is actually before the High Court
in Techiman in Wenchi.
in Wenchi High Court. Okay, so I've seen the Odododio one. Let me try and find you the Wenchi High Court. So that is so it started with an originating motion with Edmond Ayarek as the applicant. I think it's the family members of the one who died who actually went to court to make sure that they find justice. So
but not the state.
hold on. I'm just trying to
So
find it
because
for
if
you.
it's a criminal matter, it's a state
It's a state, but not the
the
state.
republic that will lead.
Yes, I'm just trying to find for you.
So you find that. What's
Yes,
the
I'll
next
find
point
that for
then?
you. Just
So-
give us a few minutes.
Just
Look.
1 minute to do so. Then I run to Theo to conclude.
You see, first and foremost, the first responsibility of every government and every listen is to ensure that its citizens are safe. If in the course of just voting to elect leaders, some of the citizens lose their lives, it is only proper to investigate and know that to know what caused it, who were those behind it. Are there some corrective measures we can put in place? Are there some people who have answers, questions to answer, and issues like that? So, and even granted that, because current now, from all indications, these are even individuals who went to court because they realized that the state was not one. The state was not making any attempt to go to court and other things, so they may have gone to court as individuals.
No, these are things that happened at the early stages of 2021.
Yeah,
right
so
after
I'm
the
just
2020 elections.
I'm just trying to make a point. It doesn't hurt that even when a case is in court, that there can be further investigations on that. And you know, haven't we had situations where in the course of trial they just tell somebody that you have been acquitted and they file a nolle prosequi, isn't it?
Yeah, and you'll be rearrested.
And the moment you turn on, they will rearrest you and then deal with you again in another form. What the current government is saying is that police service investigate thoroughly deaths that occurred as a result of the 2020 and 2024 elections. If Ghana Police Service has that information, all they will do is that, oh, we have this information, even updated, so this is it. And then maybe the Attorney General can then take a decision, what do I do with this information? And so, for me, I think that we should all rather be excited that we have our compatriots who lost their lives in the course of elections, and that
It's been investigated.
it's been investigated to see
call has
who.
been made for it.
Yeah, we should be excited about that.
All right, so this is how it was captured. Reopen investigations into major unresolved criminal cases, including the 2020 election killings, also West Wogon by-election violence, murder of Ahmed Swale, and Silas Wolo Kame.
No, that's under the
social contract.
Yeah,
Yes.
the one.
So what I'm saying is, it appears he has started with the first part, which is the 2020 election killings. You know, Vincent, I'll be happy to have the document, the strike document, so I can pour through it.
No, I'll send it to you. But I mean, one of the family members, that is the father of the one who died in Techiman South, just after a month or two after the elections, actually went to court. Of course, this is a traumatized man. Went to court to seek, or if you like, to ask the court to direct the state to go through an investigation so that the state will be directed to do the needful in terms of prosecution.
And we don't know what the court said. It's not in the report.
Well, it's not in the report,
Okay.
but I'm just saying
that's an interesting
but the point
addition
I'm trying to make is that
to the conversation here.
Some of these investigations are already before the Ghana Police Service. It needs not the president to issue a green letter to, as it were, duplicate what is already being done by the Ghana Police Service. The IGP could have just been requested.
So how does this letter hurt the process?
I'm saying that.
No, I'm just asking, how does it hurt the process?
You said it's needless. So
it's needless because the IGP and the Ghana Police Service.
So I'm sure the IGP in the coming week will respond to this and tell us what has happened. It is just to score
political points to let the Ghanaian people that let us appear that you are working.
Very well.
When it is actually
we need to go. We need to go. So thanks so much. This is how we conclude today's edition of the program. My guest, Vincent Eko Esefua, MP for Old Tafo, and then Edward Bauer, former MP for Bongo and a member of the subcommittee for energy in the transition. And he's a big man whose portfolio will be announced very soon. And also, we also had very distinguished Dr. T. Champong, energy transitions expert, and then a political race analyst. He's my lecturer as well. Thanks so much for doing the listening and the viewing. Have a good afternoon.
In Parliament.